Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. In today's video we are going to be talking how you can grow your Philodendron Brasil in 4 different ways. Now the first one that you can see on the screen is the hanging planter. Now of course it belongs to the variety of Philodendron. It starts to trail, so if you have an option of growing them in a hanging planter, or you can even make a DIY. This was a plastic DIY bottle that I had cut, and then I planted it in this. It's been a couple of months that it has been in this pot. The best thing what I like about these pots is that one is that you can recycle. You do not need to pay money, otherwise these bottles just go in trash. You can always use them for growing plants very easily. It's not very heavy. Apart from that, the best thing what I like about this is because the bottle is transparent, you can actually see the root growth, how healthy the roots tend to look like. So you can see the leaves are very healthy. There is some new growth coming up. Another best thing about this bottle also what I like is because it's transparent, you can see the roots, as well as you can also see when the soil is dry and when it's not. And as you can see, I had recently watered it, so the soil is a little darker in color because it's moist and the roots are doing quite well. So this is one method you can grow your Philodendron Brasil. In fact, any of the philodendrons, the heart shaped or the smaller leaves philodendrons, you can grow them in the hanging planter like this. The second and the third method is both the same. One method is you can grow it only in the pot without a pole. But if you're going to grow it in pot like this, the plant will start to trail down. So if you are keeping it in your garden, easily anyone can walk over it because the plant will start to trail on the floor like this. So it can easily get damaged. So you can grow it that way as well. If you want, you can keep it in the soil and you can keep it on the table and then let the plant trail downwards. You can do that. Or the third method is using a moss pole stick or a coir rope or a coir pole. Anyone will work out really well because it's an epiphyte. It will latch onto the pole and it will start to grow. As you can see, mine has been growing on this pole for a really long time and it's doing excellent. So you can either grow it in soil without the pole or you can use the pole as well. Both of the methods are going to work out really well. The plant looks absolutely beautiful with pole as well as when it starts to trail out of the pot. The soil mix remains the same what we use, which is a mix of coco peat, garden soil, sand and perlite because it prefers slight moisture in the soil. At the same time, the soil has to be well draining and should be loose. So that's why we use sand and perlite. So this is the second and third method because I do not grow it in pot without a pole. I use a pole, but if you want, you can grow it in the pot as well, but the plant will start to trail outwards. Now the fourth method you can grow this plant is in leca. So basically you'll need a glass container. You'll have to fill it up with leca and the water should be just 1/4 of the pot. And then you can either put the cutting or you can put the plant, the Philodendron Brasil, in leca and it will grow quite well. Ensure that the sunlight directly does not fall on it, but there has to be a good amount of bright light or indirect bright light. If you have a filtered light, it is going to work out really well. But let's say if there is a window wherein there is a lot of strong afternoon sunlight that tends to come, then please do not keep it because these variegated leaves can easily get burnt because of that extra sunlight. So all you can do is just keep it in a place where there is light but it doesn't directly fall onto the plant. And as you can see over here, this is the only amount of water that you need to apply. Just put only 1/4 of the water in the glass jar and then the leca will absorb that water and it will give it to the roots. Over the period of time, the roots will all attach onto the leca. It will even reach down. That is absolutely fine. Now you have to do the water change once every 5 days or 6 days. You cannot keep the same water. Also, it's very important to use a transparent glass or a plastic bottle because it's very important to check. The water level should not dry out completely because if there is no water, then the plant will start to dry. So there has to be 1/4 of water at the edge of the pot at all given point of time. So you can grow it in leca as well. You can even grow it in water, but I didn't find growing in water very ideal. The plant was having a lot of issue. It was turning very leggy. So the leca was working out really well because the plant stem is not sitting in water, but it's only sitting in a very moist material, which is the leca. The leca tends to absorb very slight moisture and then the roots tend to attach on that. So your leca propagation or growing them in leca. So even this method will work out really well if you want to grow your philodendron. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep planting.